Now, what can we say? We Will Rock You. How about that? The musical based around Queen's greatest hits opened in London's West End last week. It was 6 years in the making. Cost a staggering £7.5 million, making it one of the most expensive musicals ever staged. And here are four of the men responsible for spending some of that money. Brian May, Roger Taylor, Ben Elton and Nigel Planer. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Opened on Tuesday to the public. How's it all been since then?
It's been fantastic, yeah. The box office is rocking and we seem to be in business for a smash, really.
I mean, it's the first show I've ever seen that has yet to fail to get a standing ovation at the end of it. I actually spoke to the cast yesterday. I said, look, you better get used to it. One day they might not do this because they're sort of, oh yeah, another standing ovation last night. So yeah, we're feeling very buzzy indeed.
Have you made any changes since it opened? Thought, little...
Well, we're trying to get Nigel to improve a bit. I mean, you know, he's only getting about 3 million laughs, aren't you? And we like a few more than that.
A few more than that.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's in it, by the way, just in case.
Exactly.
Yes,
Nigel was in it. Yeah. Ben's written the story, and you two. Well, of course, you are Queen, so all the music is yours.
Yeah.
And it was Robert De Niro who had the idea. He came up to you both.
Yes, it's an odd teaming, isn't it?
Yeah.
But, we didn't expect that. It was completely from left field. But he's been very helpful. But he sort of sits in New York and occasionally comes in and makes a few short comments.
He rang you?
He rang me over the weekend. Hi, Ben, it's Bob De Niro. Oh, he dropped the blooming mobile in the teacup. I couldn't believe it.
What did he say?
First time he's ever rang. Just to say, it was great. He came over for the opening night. I mean, he's one of the producers. He's the American producer. So when the show goes to New York... Well, I mean, this $7.5 million. I mean, budgets are kind of media things. In fact, I think the overall budget was $5.5, and a lot of that is theatre rental, is TV ad, but it's certainly the set, you know, the staging. It is dynamite with a laser beam. I mean, you do see £2 million worth of gear on stage, because if you're going to do Queen's music, it's got to be as kind of mighty and as vast and as splendid and as theatrical as the music, and that's why the show is expensive, because I don't think people should come to a Queen musical expecting anything less, and that's what they get. And Robert was very clear about that. He said it's got to look good or my name's not near it. And of course
really?
It does,
and it does look good. But this isn't simply the story of Queen.
Not at all the story of Queen, no. No, it's absolutely the story that Ben put together, which was a stroke of genius, I have to say, which sets the whole thing in the future with kids who are struggling to find their identity.
It's 300 years in the future?
300 years in the future, when music has effectively died. And it's about the struggle of these
like
rebels.
now, really.
300 years?
We're very optimistic. But you know, that's the story of it. And these rebels are trying to find their expressive, their own way to express themselves and their way to make their own music.
The spirit of rock still lives on deep in rock. The legend has it in this future time when the kids are sort of only getting computerized cyber music created by a machine to sort of generate an endless profit curve of you release a single, the dummies come out in the McDonald's and etc., etc. But the mighty gods of rock once laid instruments down, and he who is heroic enough will find them, produce the hairy ones, act and play
So no
again.
live music, no live instruments, and somebody finds your guitar, is that right,
It's
Brian?
all totally live, yeah, we have a fantastic band. Somebody does, you've seen it, right?
Well, I've read.
Well, the nice thing is, I think, that it sort of takes the mickey out of a lot of things, but including us, and I think we've always had a reputation for being able to sort of take our work seriously, but not take ourselves too seriously, and luckily Ben doesn't take us too seriously, so we're
Certainly
fine.
Not. But we must just... in the world, it's a theatrical conceit. This is a world where there is no rock music, and yet we managed to play 32 of Queen's top 5 hits with a 12-piece rock band and a 38-piece... I mean, of course, the music is at the centre of it, and the great conceit is that they never stop singing. But, of course, I mean, that's a willing suspension of disbelief. And we even do Bohemian Rhapsody live. It takes 38 professional singers, and it's extraordinary. First time ever done live on stage.
Did you never do it live?
Well, we used to play it, but we used to miss out the middle bit and change our frocks. Put a tape on, because we just couldn't, you know, there's only 3 singers in the band, and we just couldn't cover that.
You had great difficulty with the song, going, right, what does Bohemian Rhapsody actually mean? Let's break it down.
Again.
Well, you have to see the show to find out.
Right, OK, give that away.
We have a laugh with it because, I mean, it is difficult, and that's brilliant. It's one of Freddie Mercury's songs. I mean, all the band members individually wrote #1 hits. So there's John, Brian, Roger and Freddie are all represented individually as songwriters right across it, but Freddie's lyric of Bo Rap is particularly complex. And
Bo Rap?
We call it that.
Bo Rap.
Even Bob De Niro calls it Bo Rap.
Oh, but
What did you make
good enough for Bob, hey.
Bo Rap being voted the second favourite song of all time in the world.
First favourite.
#1.
First favourite. Oh, Beat Imagine did it.
Oh, yes,
beat
everything by a long way,
right.
apparently.
Yeah. Okay.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, I think
Fantastic.
it remains dangerous, and I think that's part of what we hope we still are. You know, we're not smug, we're not satisfied, we're still looking for the next thing.
I'm not sure the West End of London quite knows what to make of this show, but the audiences certainly do. The audience have been unbelievable every night.
The audience
last night.
Literally bonkers every night. I can't get to sleep after a show for hours and hours, just because the amount of energy coming off the audience is...
Nigel,
2,500 people go bonkers every night.
I didn't know that you sang, because you...
No, nor did I.
We heard you rehearsing earlier. These are the days of our lives. You sing it so beautifully. You're going to sing it for us at the end of the show.
Yeah, I'll sing it for you at the end of the show.
The lyrics are amazing. And Roger, you wrote those?
Roger wrote the song, yeah.
Yeah, I'm afraid I did, yeah.
It's how old were you when you wrote it? Because it's coming from...
I was about 3 at the time.
Yeah. Because for a young person to write it, I mean, it's...
I wasn't that young, actually.
Oh,
I must have been
It was quite late on in the opera, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But how do you work out how to sing it? And I don't mean
sort
actually...
of open my mouth and...
Well, I don't mean like, you know, actually from the physical side of it, from how do you change a song from how it was for Queen, how you do it in the musical? Are you told by Ben?
We changed a few of the words. And,
is that for every song? I'm not talking about just yours now.
I don't know the rest of the songs. We changed a few of the words to make just a couple of the words just to link it into the song, into the show. And when you're in a show, you usually get the keyboard player to plonk out the tune. And if you're not, I'm not a great sight reader, so I need a little, you know, dictaphone so I can go away and learn the tune. And on my dictaphone tape, I have Mr. Roger Taylor, singing me the tune, so I'm rather privileged. I'm going to sell that
in
the future.
Nigel's a great singer. I mean, he had a #2 single in it back in the 80s when he was Neil in the Young Ones.
Yeah, I was going to say, Ben, when you had all the 32 songs to put into the musical, did you have the order? And what was first, the story or the songs that you put in some kind of order and weaved a song around, story around it?
Well, one of the reasons it took a long time to get this together was because after the band had made the decision they didn't want to do a biography of the band or of Freddie, as in, say, the Buddy Holly musical, which is great, but it just, the Queen's music is so varied, it's so eclectic, as I say, all 4 individual songwriters. So it took me a long time to think of an idea that I felt I could present to the band, because I'm a big fan, and until this kind of legend, where the spirit of the band was what was important rather than the actual physical facts of each person. But once I had this legendary idea, the songs really fell very quickly into place, because with great rock lyrics, they're ambiguous, you know. I mean, who knows what a wop bop a loo bop a lot bamboo means? Only Little Richard, but it means something to everybody. I mean,
Saturday night, 12 o'clock, Ben, will you?
Exactly. and Queen's lyrics, sometimes very specific, you know, I want to break free or whatever, and sometimes very, you know, thinking of Now I'm Here, one of Brian's or whatever. Very strange, and that, if you're doing a legend where these great songs are seen as holy texts, almost like the Dead Sea Scrolls kind of thing, actually that makes your job very easy. And together we fitted all the songs into the story, and I think they grow out of it very, you know, very organically, in fact.
And you're all still mates, which is lovely after that, yeah? Good.
Drinking partners.
Yeah, sadly, too much drinking.
Is it true about your Jubilee performance, Queen for Queen?
It's true that it's happening. Yes, we're in preparation at the moment. That's the next thing.
Well, we're going to be. We don't know what we're doing yet. But...
Do you know,
well, the papers today say you're on top of the palace playing...
There is a rumour.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, it's quite a challenge.
I think the hairy one might be on top of the palace.
I think her Madge might be up there too. I think, you know, laying down the backing vocals. You never know. You could get her.
She's the rock and roll lady.
I reckon she likes her rock. I think it's great what she's doing. I mean, I reckon because it was a totally free. I wrote the ad for, you know, Rowan Atkinson did the sort of Blackadder trailer, and I was writing that for him, and I just thought it was a great idea to everyone can phone in. All the tickets are free, and it's a lottery. There's 60,000 tickets. I think they had about 10 million responses, but it really was a genuine people's thing. In that, you know, you took your chance and.
Listen, if we don't stop talking, we're not going to have a time to hear you sing at the end of the show.
Right.
So listen, thank you all very much indeed. It's lovely to meet you, Roger, Brian. Nice to see you again, Ben. Thank you, Nigel, for singing at the end of the show. We're going to see this one.
We are.
Will we rock you? We will rock. Will we? We will. Now then, I'm sorry, it's because I'm concentrating on the competition. It's time today to play Gambler Grand. Thousands of you have already called in with the correct answer to today's qualifier. The computer has picked our first player, and it is Julie from Worcestershire. Good morning, Julie.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Very nervous.
Good, good. No, you should be nervous a little bit. The question is, Julie, you've won a grand. It's in your hand. Well done. The boys are here. They're going to give you some advice. Do you want to keep the grand, or do you want to gamble it for a chance to win £50,000 on Friday? Julie, before you answer, what should you do, boys?
Gamble or take the 1,000?
Take the money.
I'd
Take the money,
probably take the money, I don't know.
Gamble.
Gamble?
Yeah. Nigel?
Sorry.
Mixed response.
Nigel?
Gamble.
Gamble.
Okay.
Two, so she's got to make
They're
her
very
up.
helpful, these guys, Julie.
Thank you.
What's she going to do, my love?
I'm going to take the money because I'm planning a wedding. So I'm just getting married.
Well, it'll be put to very good... Is it your wedding?
It is my wedding, yes.
Fantastic. Well, splurge it and
Very
enjoy
sensible
it.
women, obviously.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Planning a wedding. I hope there's someone else involved in found the man yet.
Yes, he does know. He is going to turn up.
I think your fiancé will be very pleased that you didn't gamble, actually. Thank you, Julie, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Well done for
bye.
getting through.
We're going to be playing Gambler Grand again a bit later in the show. There's still time to enter. All you have to do is answer this simple question. Quiet, please, boys. Who was the lead singer of rock group Queen? Was it A, Freddie Starr, B, Freddie Mercury, or C, Freddie Laker? Who was the lead singer of the rock group? The number to call is 0901 499 1200. That's 0901 499 1200, and please dial carefully. Lines close at 11:35, and we'll be playing Gambler Grand again at 11:40.
I'm sorry for asking that question in front of you boys.
That's a tough one.
You know, because if you're saying, I mean, blimey, you know, grand's a lot of money. Anyway, I hope she has a good wedding on that one.
Okay.
She will.
Pop in.
We're heading for a break now. When we get back, Kim's got tips for green-fingered tots, and that's going to be ably demonstrated by her little boy Harry, who's in today.
Plus our half-hour special, the Summer Survival Guide, including how to wave goodbye to your wavy hair, even if it gets wet. See you in a minute.